According to several major scientific theories, the origins of the universe can be traced back to a series of events outside of the control and awareness of any supreme being or supernatural intelligence. Scientific assumptions combine the tenets of the Big Bang Theory and the theory of evolution to describe the creation of the universes. These merged theories on creation assert that the expanding and traveling universe is self-made, self-directed, and self-sustaining. According to this hybrid of human logic, life in the entire universe was birthed approximately 15 billion years ago from a center of nothingness. This center of nothingness was composed of incalculable amounts of mass and heat. Then suddenly, there was an immense explosion of unparalleled proportions. The embryo of mass had exploded, but not by detonation. This explosion was caused by no one, from nowhere, and for no reason. It was a chance occurrence according to science. In the immediate instance before this explosion, all the matter of eternity was contained at one single point in the universe. This explosion caused all the matter gathered at this single point to sporadically and non-purposefully spread out and fill the universe with all of the previously combined particles of matter. As these particles of matter spread out across the expanse of the universe, they violently collided with other pieces of moving matter. The friction caused by the innumerable collisions of differing forms and shapes of matter became the origin or producer of all raw energy. Over the course of millions of years, a cooling down of the explosion and pre-explosion temperatures gradually took place. As this cooling down process continued, there began a structured formation of particles and elements. As millions of years continued to pass, simple life forms of life began to appear. These beginning cellular life forms are considered to be the common ancestor of all present-day life forms. As time steadily progressed, more complex and evolved cellular life forms began to emerge. As even more time passed, even more complex and further developed multicellular life forms appeared. Finally, at some point in this scientific narrative of creation, fully functioning, complex, and evolved life forms appeared, including humans. So in conclusion to this section, according to an all-scientific view of creation, in the beginning there was nothing. There was no form of living energy. All the matter of the universe was stored inside of an embryonic cocoon of matter. Then suddenly there was an explosion of astronomical proportions. Since this birthing moment, the universe has been on a continued evolutionary trajectory. This evolutionary progress in life form complexity and variety are the result of natural genetic mutations occurring within an organism. The purpose of this mutation process is to ensure the survival of specific species situated in a specific environment. The mutations that take place within the genetic structuring of a living species, which is conducive to survival, are preserved and passed on to the next generation and to be birthed from that species. Therefore, all the present-day species of living organisms, entities, plants, animals, and humans are the result of years of genetic adaptation to varying environments. So now, an all-creationist view posits that our universe was created in one instance as well. Creationists believe that a supreme intelligence and divine force is responsible for all meaning, order, form, purpose, and life in this universe and all other universes. How did this supreme being achieve such an accomplishment? According to creationists, the supreme being accomplishes this feat using the force of his spirit, which is energy, and the substance of his body, which is matter. From a creationist point of view, a supreme architect and strategist holds together all that is endowed with immaculate complexity, pristine order, illustrious design, and grand principle. According to creationists, when God speaks, there is an astronomical rush of intense energy and spiritual force. This rush of power and energy results in the physical and spiritual elements of the universe being thrust into a strategic barrage of purposeful movement. This purposeful movement results in a relentless positioning and repositioning of energy and matter. Like the movements of a splitting atom are bound by the laws of nature, our universe is bound by the laws and principles of God's original thoughts, will, and words, which is divine engineering. We as humans are the result of the original splitting and proportions of God's word. We are on a direct path or course of movement predetermined by the original spoken words or spoken plans of the Creator. The scientific explanation and the divinity explanation to some degree have similar tenets. Both theories assert that life had a definite beginning, and this beginning took place in a single moment. The scientific explanation says the Big Bang, The creationist explanation says God speaking. Definitive differences in the two theories begin to emerge when it's time to assign credibility to the source of this beginning instance, or this original creation of the universe. A scientific explanation of creation posits that the universe started from an epicenter of matter and heat. Then suddenly there was a great explosion in the universe. This explosion produced an eruptive moment of dead and inanimate objects. This spreading out and moving away from the original center of matter and heat successfully went from a lower and chaotic nothingness to a higher and ordered somethingness. This Big Bang theory of creation asserts that a great explosion is the beginning point or foundation of the intricate construction of life. It combines with the theory of evolution, or the survival of the fittest, to assert that all life has emerged from the ripple effect of this Big Bang. To a creationist, complexity cannot come through chaos. Everything we perceive as complex, whether it be concepts, plans, or ideals, are considered to be the result of thought and intelligence. It can be agreed that the human body, reality, and the sustained balance and orbits of the universe are the most intricate and complex observable entities in our physical reality. As it relates to a Big Bang, every documented explosion in the history of humankind has created disorder and chaos. How then can the greatest explosion in the history of the universes result in the greatest exploit of decency and order? Creationists assert that at some point in the never-beginning and never-ending existence of God, He decided to use the force and velocity of His spirit and energy and the substance of His body and matter to create the universes. Furthermore, according to a creationist viewpoint, humans are made in the image of God. To say that humans evolved from an amoeboid to a hominoid to a human would be implying that God was once an ape. This assumption is in direct juxtaposition to the creationist viewpoint that the first human on Earth, or Adam, went from being dust to a fully functioning and fully evolved human. The first human did not go from dust to monkeys to a human. The first human went from God's thoughts to God's words to a fully developed human. Please note, even if the Big Bang theory or the theory of evolution were true, it still does not disprove the existence of God. Why? Because God could have easily used the occurrence of a Big Bang and the process of evolution as the mechanisms for birthing, nurturing, and developing our universes.